Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today is some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and what we're going to be doing with this video is showing you guys my quote-unquote final armory for Advanced Warfare. So over the course of Advanced Warfare's life cycle, which is kind of ending today considering Black Ops 3 comes out like tonight at midnight, at least here on the East Coast. I know in certain parts of the world it's actually already available, but since this is kind of like the final day of the Advanced Warfare life cycle, what I wanted to do is show you guys my final armory. I'm calling it final with quotations because who knows when I'm going to come back to this game, right? For the foreseeable future, I plan on playing tons of Black Ops 3, but you never know. I'm probably going to come back to Advanced Warfare at some point, so I don't want to call it my final armory, but at least for the time being, it's my final armory, because I don't plan on playing this game for at least a couple months, because I plan on playing nothing but Black Ops 3 for the next coming months, because I'm totally excited for that game. So what I want to do is, since I've opened a ridiculous amount of advanced supply drops over the course of my time here in Advanced Warfare, I want to show you guys my armory, because you guys like to see that kind of stuff. I have a lot of really cool and really rare items, and I want to share them with you guys here in this video, so hopefully you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy that as we make what is probably going to be my last Advanced Warfare video, at least for the foreseeable future. So keep in mind, I'm not going to show you every single piece in here and like detail it and talk about every single piece of gear in here. I'm going to hover over a lot of them, and I'm going to skip past a lot of them, but just note I do have a lot of gear sets. Like for example, we have the Aces set right here, which we are going to have a lot of full sets. I'm just going to kind of skip past them. So I have the MP443 Garage Latitude, which is a retired weapon, and the only reason I kept this was when they announced they were going to be retiring certain variants in the game. This was one of the weapons that was on that list, and I just so happened to have it in my armory, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna keep that so it becomes retired, and therefore is one of the most rare weapons in the game because you actually can't acquire it anymore. Of all the legendaries in Advanced Warfare, I ended up getting 4 of them, 2 of them being weapons, the Cell 3 Infected and the SVO Return to Sender. Then of course I got the Sentinel CI Exo and the gloves. In terms of royalties, I actually have a ton of royalties, but how I have this sorted is by rarity, and so it goes by rarity as well as it goes by alphabetical order. So we're gonna be seeing them as they go in alphabetical order. So we have the M1911 royalty, the AK-12 RIP, very nice, a melee royalty, AMR9 Dynamo along with the AMR9 royalty. We have the ASM1 royalty, which is one of the better variants in the game. It's basically an ASM1 speakeasy, but better because it's royalty, therefore it actually has kind of an increase to its reserve ammo, which is definitely pretty nice. ASM1 Strider, the royalty version of the Atlas 20mm, and then we have some random pieces of gear here, like this ball cap and these sunglasses and these aviator goggles, like random things like that I think look pretty cool. Ball 27 Inferno, Ball 27 Obsidian Steed, pretty nice. I do have the entire Biohazard set. I was happy about that. We got the Bulldog Facehammer, Bulldog Royalty. I think the Clown set looks pretty cool. I don't know if there's any more Clown pieces out there, but I have the Exo, the head, and the shirt, and they all look really they all look really cool together. I think they're pretty awesome. Deep Sea Diver stuff. This is actually just a bunch of gear right now, like the Denial Esports loadout in the Exo, along with the Disco helmet and Exo, and basically the entire set. You got the shirt, the knee pads, the loadout, everything, man. We have the EM1 Poner here, one of my favorite weapons in the game. I use that a ton, especially when the game first came out. 2 elite versions of the EPM3, even though I don't think the EPM3 is a very good weapon overall. The HBR-A3 Bare Fist, the HBR-A3 Insanity, and the HBR-A3 Royalty. With obviously, I use the HBR-A3 a lot because I got some really cool variants of the weapon itself. The Heist Exo, which looks like a backpack. I think that looks pretty cool. IMR Royalty, Jackpot Exo, and lots of other jackpot pieces of gear. KF5 Breakneck and the Spanner, bunch of random pieces of gear there. You have the Tax Driver for the Lynx, the Royalty Lynx, the Royalty M1 Irons, which is pretty cool. The Royalty version of the Moz, and usually whenever I get an elite version of a launcher, I typically get rid of that launcher, but I decided to keep this one because it was royalty. It wasn't just an elite version, it was actually a royalty version, so I thought that was pretty cool. A Mardi Gras shirt. Is there other Mardi Gras gear out there? I don't know. I've never seen it. I've only seen this shirt, and so I ended up keeping that. Both elite versions of the MK14, along with the MK14 Royalty, the Moore's Silver Bullet, obviously one of the cool ones that a lot of people like to run just because it has a very unique skin. And P11 Goliath, my baby right there. How many times have we seen the MP11 Goliath here on my YouTube channel? Freaking love that weapon, man. I really do. So cool. You got the NA45 royalty. I thought that was pretty awesome. You have the PDW royalty of all the weapons to get royalty. And here's a bunch of random gear sets and a bunch of random stuff that you can put together, like the psychedelic set and things like that. Pytech Loophole, Pytech royalty, royalty boots, royalty Exo, royalty pants, the Rail Driver, the S12 Whirlwind, the Blood and Glory, the SAC 3 royalty, Sentinel Medic Exo, the Sledgehammer hat and Exo. Then you have the Sledgehammer sunglasses. SN6 Money, really cool variant. It's one of the cooler looking skins in the game, if you ask me. TAC 19 Sledgehammer. What else do we got here? We're getting towards the end of the actual weapons themselves. The whole Trapper set right there, which obviously is pretty nice. And you have both of the versions of the XMGs in here. Now, I didn't end up getting anything great for like the AK-47s, but I did get the AK-47 Gorilla, and I was definitely happy about that because it actually allowed me access to the AK-47. The Melee Subverter, which was a professional variant, but it was like one of the best weapons in the game, even though it was a professional variant, so that was definitely interesting. Same thing goes for the ARX Hole Puncher. I decided to keep both of these because even though they're not elites, they're two of the best variants in the game, even though they're professionals. I kept the Blunderbuss here because I ended up getting like almost every blunderbuss that was professional anyway. I didn't get any of the elite blunderbusses or anything like that, but I didn't really like the blunderbuss very much, so I basically got rid of all of them with the exception of the Musketeer here because I thought the Musketeer kind of looked cool. MK14 Desecrator is actually one of the better versions of the MK14 because it increases your fire rate, allowing you to shoot faster. Obviously, the S12 Gallant is one of the better versions of the S12 in my opinion because it gives you extra reserve ammo, which is something you definitely need on the S12. STG-44 Smokeless, I mean, it's an STG, of course, I had to keep that. The Roundhouse is one of the better versions of the TAC 19 because it increases your fire rate and your range. AK-47 Slayer. Oh, it looks like I did keep a different version of the blunderbuss. I have the Blackbeard here as well. Cell 3 Phantom, you got the M16 Sweet 16 Moore's Quick Bolt that increases the fire rate. The S12 Compliant, which is also another good version of the S12 in my opinion because it increases your magazine size, and that's definitely pretty nice on the S12, which is a full auto shotgun, of course. The Sentinel Medic set, my favorite set in the game. This is like the set I wore throughout the majority of the game's life cycle. The SCG-44 Vampire, and then here are a bunch of just random stuff that you get just by leveling up or buying DLC or, you know, playing through the campaign and things like that. So these are just all things that I'm sure a lot of you guys also have as well. These are things I can't actually get rid of. These are things that just kind of chill out here inside my armory. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be my armory. And it feels weird knowing that this is like the last Advanced Warfare video to go up on my YouTube channel, at least for the foreseeable future, right? Because with Black Ops 3 right around the corner, I'm going to be playing nothing but Black Ops 3 for the next coming weeks and months and whatnot, and that's primarily going to be all the videos I'm going to be making as well. And so as a result, it feels weird knowing that I'm probably not going to come back to Advanced Warfare for a while. I mean, it's weird, you know, making videos of Advanced Warfare for 12 months, and suddenly it's like, well, new Call of Duty game's out, I guess we're moving right on to that. It's weird, it really is. A lot of people ask me for like a final report card for Advanced Warfare, like what would I rate the game and whatnot. And while I don't think I'm going to do a full-on report card, like, oh, I would give this an A through F or whatever, things like that, overall I'll say this: Advanced Warfare itself was a pretty good first-person shooter game. If you compare it to other Call of Duty games, I think it falls short. That's my honest opinion. I think that Advanced Warfare, if you compare it to like Black Ops 2, if you compare it to Modern Warfare 3 even, or if you compare it to Call of Duty Ghosts, or just any Call of Duty game in general, I think it falls short because it was so different than the rest of the Call of Duty games. Ultimately, the game itself was going to live or die by exosuits. Obviously, is going to live or die by that. Some people love them, some people hate them, some people were kind of middle of the road. I think I was more or less middle of the road for the most part of Advanced Warfare's life cycle, but here, especially these past couple of months, I just found myself kind of bothered by the exosuits. You know, I found myself getting more annoyed at them than anything because I would play some of the other Call of Duty games that would go to Advanced Warfare and just how there was such a difference. Like, they were polar opposites in terms of how the games were played, how fast-paced Advanced Warfare was, and just how different it really was from the rest of the Call of Duty games. And I've heard this being thrown around by a lot of people, and I would totally agree. Advanced Warfare, in my opinion, was a very good first-person shooter game, but kind of a mediocre Call of Duty, if that makes any sense. So you can't really fault Sledgehammer for trying out new things. Ultimately, they tried out a ton of new things with this year's game, and a lot of the things I would love to see them continue in the future. It's just I'm not entirely convinced that exosuits are the future. But what we've seen in Black Ops 3 and what we played from the beta, and of course the game itself is actually out at the time of this video going up in certain countries and certain parts of the world. What we saw in Black Ops 3 with the movement system, that seems to be a step in the right direction. I feel as though exosuits were a little bit too much, but that may just be my own personal opinion. But again, overall, I thought Advanced Warfare was a pretty fun first-person shooter game. I thought it was time well spent. It brought me hours and hours and days upon days upon days of playtime of enjoyment, and hopefully it did for you guys as well. And kudos to Sledgehammer. They tried out a lot of new stuff, and I think a lot of new stuff is going to be implemented in future Call of Duty games. Heck, a bunch of leaks and stuff are already coming out now that it turns out supply drops are actually going to be in Black Ops 3, and you're going to be able to earn them with like an in-game currency, and you're going to be getting different kinds of weapons from that. Who knows what that's going to be like. Right now, they can't unlock them, at least at the time of me recording this video, but right now, they don't have the currency actually in-game for us to unlock these supply drops from the quote-unquote black market in-game. So there's definitely a lot of stuff with Black Ops 3 going around, but I think there's a lot of stuff that Sledgehammer tried to do and a lot of things that Sledgehammer tried to innovate with this game. Of course, this was their first Call of Duty game, and I think it's a good sign for Call of Duty in the future. I think they're going to look at this game, they're going to look at the feedback from Advanced Warfare, both positive and negative, and they're going to take that feedback and they're going to implement it into their new game. And in a couple of years, when Sledgehammer is due up to make their new Call of Duty game, I'm totally looking forward to what they're going to come up with, because there are definitely some creative people over there. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And if you did, remember to leave a rating and stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot of Black Ops 3 videos and lots of Black Ops 3 content coming up here on my channel in the coming days. So once again, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Remember to leave a rating, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.